Hello everyone, my name is Aastha. I welcome you all to our classes for IEO class 9th. Today is our 7th class wherein we will be doing the topic of sentences and sentence sequencing. We will be doing the topic in detail, understanding what kind of questions can be asked through sample questions. These sample questions are based on the pattern of IEO and thus they help you a long way in your preparation. Alright, so let's get started.
Now the first thing that we are going to do, first topic is about the questions. So for that we'll have to figure out various interrogative words. So we'll be reading about different interrogative words one by one. Like we have an interrogative word who. When is who used? When we have to ask about a person. And the person, the one we are asking about, it acts as the subject. Alright. So it is very important to understand that we are asking about a person, but what? But as a subject. Okay. So as a person, about a person and as a subject. Here, like we have the example, who is the man behind the counter? So for this, the answer will be in terms of the person, and that person will be the subject of the answer. For example, if I say who is the man behind the counter, I say Rahul is the man behind the counter. So it becomes what? The subject. And here again we are asking about the subject and a person. Then next, who is the President of India? Again, we are asking about a person and also the subject of the sentence. Okay. Then here, who would like some tea? Again, we are asking about a person who would like tea, and also we are asking about the subject. Okay. Next interrogative word is whose. Now, whose is usually used when we have to ask about ownership of something. Right, when asking about who owns this particular thing or particular anything object. Okay, that's the time when we use whose. Like we have the example here, whose kids are these, which means we are asking these who are the parents of these kids, or who's these kids with them. So belongingness and ownership, for that we are asking whose. And whose phone is ringing? Again, ownership, we are asking about the ownership of what? The phone which is ringing. Ownership of that phone we are asking through whose. Then you have here, whose mother works in an IT company. So here again we are asking about like for here mother, we are asking about the belongingness. Okay, like whose mother works in an IT company. Alright, so here are the scenarios where we use whose. Okay, next we have is who. Now who is used to ask about any person, and that person acts as the object of the sentence. Now remember we did the word who, and who is also used to ask about a person, but at that time that person acts as the subject. Here it acts as the object. Alright, that is the difference between who and who, although both of them are used to ask about person. Here we have, whom do you want in your team? So here we are asking about whom do you want in your team, and the answer will be as an object. So like I want Ria in my team. So Ria is the object here again. So we are asking about a person, but that person forms the object part of the sentence. Next, whom did you see in the garden? Again asking about the person and the object. Alright. Next up is where. Now where is used to ask about any place or position. Okay, place or position. Here we have the examples, like where is your house located? We are asking about a certain place. Then we have here, where is New York located? Again, we are asking about a certain position and place. Alright. Here again, where is the kid with glasses? Here we are asking the whereabouts of whom? The position or the place of whom? The kid with glasses. Alright. Next up is when. Now when can we use when? When we are asking about time, moment, occasion, all these scenarios we can use when. Next here, like when will you leave? Here what are we asking about? We are asking about certain time or such a moment, like when will you leave? Then when is a birthday? We are asking about a certain occasion, so we are using when. When did you find out about the missing cash? Here what are we using when for? For a certain moment or an event, you can say. Alright. Next we have why. Why can be used for asking for reasons and explanations. Alright. As to why someone did something, or as to why did this happen, for these purposes. Here we have, why is that kid not wearing the school uniform? So we are asking for a reason as to why that kid is not wearing the uniform. Why do we have to wear masks every day now? So again, this is what? Asking for an explanation, for a reason for something. Yeah, why do you like mangoes so much? So again, asking for a reason or an explanation. So what the job of why is, to actually pay heed to your curiosity. Whenever you are curious, you ask the questions of why. Why is this happening? Why is that happening? What are the reasons for this? Right. Then we have here what. What is used for asking for a specific object or thing. Asking for any specific object or thing. Alright, that's when we use what. Like here we have, what day is it today? We are asking about a specific day, that is today. So like, what day is it today? Specific thing we are asking. Then we have, what is bothering you? We are asking about a certain matter, like what is bothering you, which means asking about again a specific thing. What brings you here? Right, again asking for a specific thing. Okay, here, why don't? Now, why don't is a sort of a phrase which is used when we are sort of making a suggestion. Alright, it is not really an interrogative word exactly. It's more of an interrogative phrase, or a usual phrase we can call it, used for making a suggestion. Let's see how. Like here, why don't you try this pair of jeans? This is sort of making a suggestion that you should try this pair of jeans as well. So why don't you try this pair of jeans? Why don't you take this route to work? So this is also making a suggestion that please take this route to work. Right. Then which, asking about a certain choice. When we have to make a certain choice, We are asking about a certain choice between two things or otherwise, so we use the interrogative word which. Here, let's see the example. Which fruit do you want for breakfast, mango or apple? Here we are asking for a choice. Then, which of the following answers is correct? Again, we are asking for a choice. That's when we use which. Another one, which kid got the best marks in English? So we are asking to choose which kid got the best marks, right? Next up is how. How is used to ask about certain manner or form, maybe process, like how this happened. Okay. Here, how did the kids figure out the solution? We're asking about the manner. How did the kids figure it out? Then, how do you spend time in the evening? Again, we're asking about certain manner. How did you make this dish? Here again, we're asking about a certain process, certain manner in which something was done. Alright. Or something was done or is being done or will be done. We use how. So another one we have is how much. How much is used in asking about quantity or price of what? Of uncountable nouns. Right, remember, uncountable nouns. Here, how much do these bangles cost? So here we are asking about the price. How much sugar would you like? Here we are asking about the quantity. How many? How many is used for the asking for the quantity of countable nouns. Alright. Like here, how many chapatis do you want? You're asking about the quantity of chapatis. How many friends are going with you? Again, we're asking the number of friends going. So again, asking about quantity. How many twos make a 40? Again, asking the quantity of twos that make up a 40. Right. Okay, next, how old? How old is used for asking about age. Like here, pretty simple examples. How old are you? How old is this machinery? Asking about the age of a person or a certain thing, like how old is this particular thing? How long has this been here? So in that way, asking about age. Next we have how far. This is used for asking about a certain distance. Like how far is Mumbai from Pune? How far is the nearest petrol pump? Pretty easy examples. I'm just giving you a brief overview of various interrogative words and the phrases we have, so that आपको question solve करने में कोई issue ना हो, so that you have enough material to just quickly go through and revise. Okay. Alright, so the next interrogative phrase we can say is how often. This is used to asking about frequency. Like here we have examples. How often do you go to the movies? Which means how many times something happens, something takes place. So asking about frequency. How often does a summer solstice take place? So again, asking about frequency, the number of times something happens or happened, okay, or maybe will happen in the future. Okay, now here this is another category of questions. This one अभी तक जो हमने करे, they were certain descriptive questions, like their answers will vary. But here there is another category of questions which are simple yes or no questions, which means for these questions the plain answers would be either yes or no or maybe, right? Now these are not descriptive, they are not explanatory, they are simple affirmative or negative answers. There are only negative or affirmative answers to these kind of questions, and they are formed using words like is, am, are, does, do, etc. Alright, let's see. Like here, does he know you are here? Here, does he know? Starts with does. Is that a part of the plan? Starts with is. Am I your pal? Are there any lights here? Do you know what this means? So for these kind of questions, the simple answers could be either yes or no. This is one category. Alright. Okay, now next up we have a very interesting category which is question tags. Now this is one topic I feel which makes English really interesting. Let's see how. Now what is the job of question tags? What they do is they turn a statement into a question. The simple job is turning a statement into a question. Just by adding 2 or 3 words at the end of a statement, we can make it a question. So let's see how that happens. Like here, that man looks like my uncle. You just read this till here. That man looks like my uncle. So if there was a full stop here, this is just a statement, right? But when this question tag is added, like here, doesn't he? Now then, doesn't he? This becomes what? This becomes a question. So the statement turns into a question, like that man looks like my uncle, doesn't he? Right? Here. This is so yummy statement. But we add isn't it? And this is a question tag. So this becomes a question instead of a statement. Alright. Another one. I don't look good in this dress. A statement. But the moment we add do I, it becomes a question. Alright. Alright, so now we have a few rules for forming question tags and about question tags in general. Like here we use them at the end of sentences. End. Remember, we use them at the end to ask for confirmation. Like asking someone if they agree to it. Okay. And the next rule is, for a positive statement, we use a negative question tag. And for a negative statement, we use a positive question tag. Alright, so it works in an opposite manner. Pretty easy to remember, but very important rule. Alright. So here, remember that we use them at the end of these sentences to ask for a certain confirmation. Like I just gave you the example of, I don't look good in this dress. Do I? So do I? It is like asking the person in front of me for a confirmation. Like, do you agree? Okay. Then for a positive statement, we use a negative question tag, and for a negative statement, we use a positive question tag. Alright. Okay. Now another rule says the subject in this statement should match the subject in the question tag. So whatever the subject is in the statement, whichever statement we are given, negative or positive, Accordingly, that subject should match the subject in the question tag. Alright. And here, the verb or the auxiliary verb in the statement should match the one in the question tag. So again, the same thing, that the subject as well as the verb should match their counterparts in the question tag. Okay. Statement and question tag दोनों में same verb, same subjects we should use. These are the basic fundamentals for forming the correct question tag. Alright, let's see here. My mother is baking a cake, isn't she? Okay, so here you see, first of all, let's see what type of a. Now, our first rule was that a question tag is formed at the end. So here you see, it is formed at the end. And the second rule was, with a positive statement, we use a negative question tag. So what is the positive statement here? My mother is baking a cake. Positive statement. So we use a negative question tag. Isn't she? Isn't is a contraction which stands for is not. So isn't she? This is sort of asking for a confirmation, right? That do you agree she's baking a cake or not? Alright. Now the other part was the subject should match. Here the subject is my mother. Third person, singular and female. So here she. Third person, singular and female. So the subject is also matching. Then the verb. What is the verb here? To be conjugated in the third person form is. So here also is. Here also we have is. So you see all the rules have been followed. Then we see our next example. Are you not going to talk? Sorry, you are not going to talk to me, are you? So here first of all you see it is a negative statement. Alright, and the question tag is positive. Negative statement and positive question tag. And are you? It is formed. It is at the end, asking for a sort of confirmation that do you agree or not with whatever I'm saying. Alright. Then the next part, that the subject. Here the subject is you. Okay, you second person. Here also the subject is you, second person. Then the verb again, you are. To be conjugated for the second person is are, you are. Here also the verb is are. So you see all our rules are followed. It is formed at the end, and with a positive statement we use a negative question tag. With a negative statement we use a positive question tag. The subject of the statement is same as the subject of the question tag, and the verb or the auxiliary verb of the statement is same as that of the question tag. Alright, you see both of these is and are, both of these were auxiliary verbs. The main verb here is baking, the main verb here is going. So the auxiliary verbs were same in the statement and the question tag. Alright. Alright, so here I have given you a list of positive statements and negative question tags in all these tenses, like present simple conjugating with be. She's Italian, isn't she? Then present simple with other verbs can be used as, like here, they live in London, don't they? Present continuous, we are working tomorrow, aren't we? Past simple in be, it was cold yesterday, wasn't it? Here you see all the verb is the same, the subject is the same. Okay. Past simple other verbs like he went to the past party last night, didn't he? In past continuous, we were waiting at the station, weren't we? Present perfect, they've been to Japan, haven't they? Then present perfect continuous, she's been studying a lot recently, hasn't she? She's been, because it is here, she has been. So here we use hasn't she. In past perfect, he had forgotten his wallet, hadn't he? had. Past perfect continuous, we'd been working, hadn't we? Now wait is a contraction meaning we had. Alright. Then we have future simple, she'll come at 6, won't she? Future continuous, they'll be arriving soon, won't they? Future perfect, they'll have finished before 9, won't they? And future perfect continuous, she'll have been cooking all day, won't she? Here we have modals, a few examples like here of can. He can help, can't he? And for here, John must stay, mustn't he? Okay. So here now we have negative statements and positive question tag. You can just pause the slide and go through all of them. I'll just say read them to you randomly. Like here you see past simple other words. They didn't go out last night, did they? Here you see question tag in the end, and negative statement have the positive question tag. Then you see subject and the verb, the auxiliary verb, are the same in the statement and the question tag. Alright. Then suppose here you see future simple. Future simple, they won't be late, will they? Again, they won't be late. Won't stands for will not. So here the verb is will. Again in the question tag the verb is will. Subject is they. In question tag also the subject is they. Alright. You see in modals also. She can't speak Arabic, can she? They mustn't come early, must they? So here, can you see with negative statements use positive question tags and vice versa. Alright, so that's how we form question tags. It's a pretty easy topic. Okay, now I've just given a few examples of special cases of question tags. Let's see. Yeah, these are only a few special cases. There are a few more. If they come as and when they come in the questions, we'll discuss them. It's just to give you an example. These are actually quite understood by default, but I've just given them to you so that you don't get confused. Like here, if statement has negative adverbs. Negative adverbs. What do we mean by negative adverbs? Like here you see, we have never seen that. Never seen that. Now this may look like a positive statement to you, but actually it is not. Why? Because it has a negative adverb. आपको positive statement लगेगी क्योंकि इसमें not तो है नहीं. But if you think logically, so here you have never seen that. So it is a negative statement only because we're using a negative adverb. So when we have a negative adverb, we use a positive question tag. Alright. Now here, statements begin with I am, so we use are not. Now, when a statement starts with I am and then you have to add a question tag, so you use aren't I. Right, like I'm intelligent, aren't I? Okay. Then statement that begins with let's. Use shall we. Okay, let's take the next verse. Shall we? Alright, so these were the few special cases. Okay, now we have our second topic, which was sentence sequencing. Now, what do you have to do in sentence sequencing is, you will be given there's a sentence, you will be given different parts of a sentence, like subject in one, or verb in one, or object in one, and they will all be jumbled up. Okay, they will not be making any meaning to you. And so you will have to read them and solve it by taking care of the subject and predicate and by taking care of the subject verb object agreement. Okay, that's what we will be discussing in the questions as and when they come. I will explain one or two to you, and then actually I will be explaining all of them to you anyway. but just for example, you can take like one of those questions as an example and then solve the rest of them on your own. Alright, so this was for sentence sequencing, and question tags and questions, interrogative words we have already done. So that's all. Alright, so now we start off with the questions. Here this one says fill in the blanks with the appropriate alternatives. Let's see. The cat does not like swimming much dash. Okay, so it is a question tag, and for question tags let's follow our rules. First rule, the statement is negative, so the question tag will be positive. Okay, then the subject and the verb, the auxiliary verb or the verb has to be the same. So here the subject is cat. Cat is what? Third person, singular, neutral. So we use the subject it. And the verb here, the auxiliary verb here is does. So we use does it. Question tag is does it. Correct answer is B. Okay, the cat doesn't like swimming, does it? Okay, here we have we can leave our bags in our class dash. The statement is positive. The question tag will be negative. Okay, and here subject and the verb are going to be the same. So the subject is we and the verb negative. Can't we, cannot we. So here the correct answer is B. We can leave our bags in the class, can't we? Okay, here next, the food at the party was delicious dash. So statement is positive, question tag has to be negative. The subject is what? The food at the party. This is what? Third person, singular, neutral, so we use it. And for the verb, food at the party was delicious, was. So we use was, wasn't it. The correct answer is A. The food at the party was delicious, wasn't it? Okay, next up we have I am not too old dash. So here we have I am not too old. This is negative statement. Question tag will be positive, and we just have this subject and the verb which has to be, you know, reversed and put in. So I'm not too old, am I? Correct answer is A. Pretty easy. Okay, next. The papers weren't very tough dash. The papers weren't very tough. The statement is negative. The question tag will be positive. So here the papers. The papers is what? Plural, third person. So the subject is they. And the question tag has to be positive. So the verb was were. So the papers weren't very tough, were they? Correct answer is B. Others you see are. Here the verb is incorrect. And isn't it, is it, isme to verb bhi incorrect hai, subject bhi incorrect hai. Right? Okay, next up, you aren't 18 yet dash. Aren't 18 yet. So this is what the statement is negative. So we accordingly we have to make a positive question tag and positive. Here the subject is you, the verb is are. So reverse this and ask, you aren't 18 yet, are you? Right? Correct answer is A. Okay, here we have there are a lot of books in the library dash. There are a lot of books. This is a positive statement. So we make a negative question tag. For a negative question tag, the subject is what? Like there are, there, and the verb is are. So we convert this and say there are a lot of books in the library, aren't there? Negative question tag. Others you see are there. This is positive. Is there is also positive, and the verb here is incorrect. Then here isn't there. This is negative, but the verb is incorrect. Okay, next up we have there was no one at home dash. There was no one at home. So here be careful. This may seem like a positive statement, but it is not. Talking about no one being home. So it is a negative statement. Okay, negating something. So the question tag will be positive. And let's just we'll just have to revert the subject and the verb. Let's do that. There was no one at home. Was there. Pretty easy. Others, is there, were there, isn't there. The verb is incorrect and here isn't there में तो question tag भी negative है. That is the completely incorrect. Okay. Okay, the picnic was good fun dash. This is the positive statement. The negative question tag will be there. So the subject here, picnic. Picnic is what? Third person singular. So it. And the verb we use was. So the picnic was good fun. Wasn't it? Wasn't it? Negative question tag. Correct answer is B. Others you see, A, C, these are positive. D, weren't it? Here the verb is also incorrect. Okay, next up we have Aditya is growing tall dash. Is he, isn't he, will he, won't he? Okay, Aditya is growing tall. Positive statement, negative question tag. For negative question tag, Aditya is what? Third person, singular male. So we use he. And then is, the verb we use isn't he. Aditya is growing tall, isn't he? So the correct answer is B. As you see, this is positive A. C, will he, won't he? Both of these incorrect verbs. Okay, here we mustn't be late dash. Here the statement is what? Statement is negative. Question tag has to be positive. Okay, we mustn't be late, must not be late. So here this is the subject, verb, just reverse it. We must not be late, must we. Correct answer is D. Others you see, mustn't we, ये तो same ही कर दिया statement वाला. Could we, couldn't we, the verb is incorrect. Alright, so
that's all for our class on sentence and sentence sequencing. I hope you have understood the various kinds of questions that can be asked so that you can prepare on similar lines. So if you made any mistakes in these questions, make sure you rectify them and note down those mistakes so that you can analyze your weaknesses, so that this is where I made a mistake, and make sure that you don't repeat that one. All right, so I will see you the next time. Thank you for watching.